Right, to be honest, this one's about, oh, sorry, hate random video, about staying focused when things seem overwhelming or stressful or whatever. That's where I guess systems comes like very important. However, also when things do get stressful and overwhelming, not like making sure that you don't just try and tackle everything and generally just stop, sit back and don't do nothing, to be honest. Like I think that's the best way to go about it, because if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're already overwhelmed, trying to now do things in that point ain't gonna work. And you should genuinely just forget about everything and just chill. Genuinely, like you like, and you realize that your thought that, oh, if I don't do X, Y, Z, it means Y, Z, X is gonna go wrong. Um, like, and it ain't. Like you realize very quickly when you don't do things how unimportant the things you think are important are. Like they're very unimportant, and there's no use or need in doing the majority of the things that you're doing just now. I guarantee it. No use in doing them. Sometimes you just got to let things happen, and then let the dust settle, and then go from there rather than trying to do something within that dust. Like it's just one going to stress you out more, it's going to overwhelm you more, and you're probably not going to do your best work, to be honest. You're better off just forgetting about everything, not doing a single thing, analysing and looking at the whole situation in front of you. Whether you think that this is a time constrained thing and you need to do it now and whatever, you definitely don't. Like a lot of people would always say, "What's the worst that could happen?" And then the answer would be, "Or death." But I don't even think that's the worst thing that could happen. Like I think people just use that as a cop out, and you should actually think about the worst thing that could happen, and then think about how you would get out of that worst case scenario situation, and then you go ahead and after that tackle whatever it is that you need to tackle, and you tackle it based off of, okay, this is the worst case scenario of things that could happen. This is how I prevent it. And if I focus on this task rather than focusing on all 10 tasks, this is how this one task actually solves like 60 or 50% of these other tasks, rather than trying to do them individually and then realize, no, damn, if I just did this one thing, all of this would be done. And a lot of people, I guess, do that, where instead of just taking a second and seeing, all right, how can I implement one fix that fixes 10 things, I would rather just sit and try and fix all 10 things, because one, it makes it seem as if I've done a lot more work, and two, these 10 things are in front of me, so why don't I just get them done? It's like sometimes you just don't get them done and you forget about them, and then look at, okay, and look and decide, okay, what am I actually going to do that's going to solve everything in one go? Because 90% of the time there's just one thing that will solve all things, whether it's communication, whether it's system, whether it's a process, whether it's a reminder, whether it's whatever it is, you will easily find it by just taking a second, taking a step back and looking at everything rather than trying to run at everything and do it. So if you're someone that genuinely just gets overwhelmed, and when they get overwhelmed, they just try and do. Anyway, they try and consistently just try and do everything. Just chill and don't do everything. Just literally do one thing that's going to solve it all. And if you think that there ain't that one thing, then you're not thinking hard enough. I guess, but not. But anyway, you're not thinking about it in the right way. To be honest, yeah, you're not going about it in the right way. And the right way, I guess, yeah, the right way would be to just sit down, relax, and just look at the whole situation as a whole. Think of the worst case scenario that isn't death, because I don't think that is a worst case scenario in any factor of anything that you're ever doing. I'll be honest, I don't think it is. Think about the worst case scenario and then work your way from there, because you would have had to get to that worst case scenario. So if you can put things in place that stops you from getting there, like it makes it it makes it completely unreasonable to get there, then you're chilling. Um, and that's what you should be focusing on. And I'd say maybe you should focus on this more if you're already, I guess, making money and whatnot. But even if you're not, that sort of mentality and idea of going about things, you should definitely work that muscle, so to speak, so that when you do get to a stage where you're making more, it just works. You can just think of solutions very quickly, rather than, yeah, trying to just not think of a solution. Um, Yeah, because a lot of people think that they have solutions for things, but they don't. They just have added problems to things, to be honest. So don't be that type of person. Anyway, let me not ramble on. Hope that helped. And yeah, see you in the next one.